Hello on this wonderful day. Today's breakdown of the living word is going to be about law words and other words that people think have no actual definition. I'll show you that they do because the words are powerful. I'm going to start with the word duress, D-U-R-E-S-S. Remember, D is the directing thing, the doorway in which things come through, so it's to or from. So it's dia, now an underlined reference. Expressed. So you're supposed to do or listen to the underlying reference expressed. And if not, something is going to be subjected upon you. SS is a subjected subject. So if you don't do the underlined reference expressed, something will be subjected upon you. So by threat of force, duress. The second word is very much like it, but it's coercion. Now this one is more like the word course. If somebody wants to guide your course, it's CO, concept ongoing, expressed, reference, concept, expressed. If somebody wants to tell you to do something, it can either be through fear or incentives, and you're going to be guided into a course. And if you don't do it, negative things will happen, or you'll miss out on something. So it's coercing you into guiding your course. I mean, I'm using these as simple and elementary as possible so that people can understand them easily. There's no reason to mince words and put too much stuff under every category, because then everyone gets lost trying to figure it out, or they fight over the wording of things. We just have to stop doing that. The next word is law. L being the 12th letter, or the active base, AB, or also L as it lie, or the 3D, things that are happening right here, right now, in all the senses, L. So then A activates that idea, the 3D world as it lie, and then W is a plural symbol. It's the reference of a vitally vital thing. It's something that's happening more than just to you. It's something that has more than one part to it. It's a plural symbol. So we have a 3D, active, vitally vital. What causes things to happen in the 3D world? The next word is natural. Now, N indicating a notion, active plus underlying reference, active as it lie in the 3D world. So let's break that down a little bit more and say the notion active plus. We don't have a notion yet. When we say NA, it means non-applicable. So now when we say NAT, so it's notion active plus. What's the notion? I don't know, we're underlying that. Well, okay, nothing's happened yet. But then we say RA, so we have a reference active, or we say raw, as in light. So we have notion active plus underlying reference active as it lie in a 3D world, as it lay there. So natural is basically saying nature rule, the rule of nature, how things are happening naturally, not by telling somebody how they have to be, what they have to do, and what they're expected, because nothing is expected of you. But in that way, if somebody doesn't tell you what to do, or you're just going to stumble along in life and just mess yourself up on purpose, yes, there's going to be some accidents, but that's how you learn. That's natural to make mistakes. Instead of being punished because you didn't know any better, what we need to do is reach out and teach and help and guide, not force or say this is how you do it, because that's completely the wrong way. Natural. Notion active plus underlying reference active in a 3D world as it lie. The next word is education. Now remember, when we put ED at the end of any word, it's saying that it's been expressed through. It's been gone through. ED means when you finish something. So when we put that at the beginning of a word, it's saying the express to or from, dia, underlying, concept, active plus identified ongoing notion. So however you are, how you're working right now, ED, as the underlying unit. Now there's a concept activated plus the identified ongoing notion. Someone wants to teach you from where you are, they want to teach you something. In a way, that's okay if somebody was teaching you things that were necessary for your life, necessary to live in harmony with nature. But when it's being taught to you so that you follow along and listen to what people tell you without asking too many questions, It's literally the word headucation. Education. They want to take the way you work and change it to the way they plus identify ongoing notion. So it's expressed, dia, underlined, concept, active plus identified ongoing notion. Education, or headucation. The next word, this is going to have a lot of some flack from people, because a lot of people say it a certain way, which, yes, the word government can say govern the mind. But if you actually break it down and see it a little bit more, you'll see that there are more than one way to use this breakdown of words and letters, but it actually always applies to the same concept, because you can say things a whole bunch of different ways and everyone explains it differently. So when we say government, we can say generate ongoing vital expressed reference notion. Manifest expressed notion plus. It means to not only control your mind, which most people say. Now, let's say generate ongoing, we say vern. Now, when we say the vernal equinox, that spring, when things come into action, we say the word verb, it's a vital expressed reference base. It's something of action. So it's basically saying to generate ongoing actions and how they amount up to something. So meant can be how something compiles into what it amounts to. It also does mean mind, because we're using it in a term around people. What you want to do is self-govern your mind and also self-govern what you add up to. So like I said, it's generate ongoing vital expressed reference notion, manifesting expressed notion plus. You're adding something to your mind, or you're adding something to the way you add up to an amount. Government. Don't let somebody else tell you what you're supposed to be, whether there's threats or not. It's up to you to be brave enough to do the right thing when you know it is right, whether or not it's difficult. The next word is wisdom. Notice that there's a W in the front and an M in the end. So we have a W being the plural symbol, the vitally vital. Now we identify that subject to and from dia, ongoing manifestation. Now, being wise is something that is a plural identified subject expressed. When somebody's wise, they know something about something, they identify that subject, and they express it. But wisdom is being able to not only take it in, but give it out. Like you can yourself refer to yourself and say, I'm full of a lot of wisdom. But in a way, you're talking to yourself in your mind, or you're talking to yourself in your thoughts. And if you want to truly have wisdom and possess it and display it, you must teach it to others, because you can be as smart and as wise as you'd like. But if you're not helping other people when you see that they don't have any wisdom, it's up to you to change that. No one else is going to come along and help others if you're not willing to do it as well. Think about it. If you're not willing to do it, how many other people out there do you think there are? Yes, there are some, but there's very few people who have true wisdom and actually share it. Now let's break the word down. It's a plural identified subject to and from dia, ongoing manifestation. So if you're wise to it, you've done it, and you can manifest it out to others and speak about it. Wisdom. A wise dome, okay? So the next word, unity. Now it's a underlying notion identified. One, uni. Underlying notion identified, plus that vital expression. When things work together in unity, they are adding the vital expression of one. We're all together as one, unity. So the next word, truth. A lot of people say that there's no actual definition to truth. You have your truth, I have my truth. We have our own personal truths of things you've gone through and things that you've had opinions on. Those kind of things are a personal truth. But there comes a point where you have to understand that there is a higher truth that does happen, whether people want to admit that or not. Let's look at the word and say T being the plus symbol, the R being a reference, and now that being a U, underlying. Like it's been an underlined thing. It's a plus referenced underlined. So it means it's happened. But then once you add a plus here, it's saying that it's necessarily happened. It's plus reference underlying plus here. So let's say that I went to the store yesterday and somebody didn't see that. And I tell them, hey, I went to the store yesterday. And they say, I don't believe you. That's not true. I know it's the truth because I've done it. It's a plus reference underlying. It's already happened. It's unanimous. Plus here. So truth doesn't happen in this moment. Yes, it can. But Truth is something that has been done before and has been shown or impressed upon you, those kind of things. So truth is not just what you think it is. That's your opinion and that's your experience. So you've experienced your own personal truth. But the higher truth is something that is a plus, reference, underlying, or unanimous plus here. Truth. The next word, which is the last word of this video, is moral. A lot of people think that there's no such thing as moral. It's just whatever you want it to be. Everyone's got their own set of morals. Now, what the word moral itself would mean is to manifest ongoing as a reference. So whatever's manifested ongoing as a reference, you see it how it is, and you activate that in the 3D world. You activate the manifested ongoing reference as its 3D as it lie. See what I'm saying? So when you don't need more rules, you need to have moral inside you. It's manifested ongoing, bringing it into light, RA, and letting that lie where it is, or expressing that in the 3D world to have moral. So that's it for that video. I hope you enjoyed. Ask any questions, like and share, because that's what gets this stuff out there. Reach out. I'm here for you. God bless. Peace.